to the channel. I'm Ryan and this is Paul. We're gonna be working on his 2008 Mustang GT today. Already starting out, we got some chaos, so I'll let Paul explain what the heck is happening already.
All right, so it was just supposed to be a simple driver's side oil catch can. Ordered the part through UPR, nice blue billet piece to kind of go with some of the blue accents that I'm going for on the car.
Looks gorgeous.
Looks awesome, right? So start opening the box up and then I'm looking at it and thinking, that's not a whole lot of parts. But it's supposed to be a full, kit, everything, bolts on it, everything like that. Comes with instructions. So we're taking it out, setting things aside, kind of look at the instructions and then realizing it doesn't quite match up with what I've got in this car. I don't know if between model years they changed a mounting point off of the strut tower, but I definitely don't have a nice mounting point where I can install what they gave me with the mounting hardware. So we had to get a little innovative.
Very.
Go into the parts bin in Ryan's garage, and fortunately I think we've come up with what looks to be an erector set. But for those of you that even know what those are anymore, but it gets us the clearance we need and hopefully should do the trick, support everything, and make this whole thing work.
So it's no longer going to be just a Ford. He's got some Dodge parts, some Nissan parts. So,
yep.
But as long as it works,
it's a global car. It's a global car at this point. It's got everything. Probably adds 50 horsepower.
Yep. So we show you what it started with, and then now what we've had to come up with to actually make it work.
So this nice piece right here was the only thing that came in the kit for mounting, and this in theory would have mounted as some bracket that was on the strut tower on maybe a prior model year of what I had. I do not have that option now. So we found on the alternate style bracket in the engine bay a way where I can mount a bolt here, and we've got this handy dandy arm, I think came off of one of your oil cooler lines.
Yep, the Nissan Z, yeah.
And then we went ahead and have this other L bracket here. I think same parts collection.
Yep, same parts collection.
So I've now got a bracket that goes up and an extension out, which gives me wonderful clearance. I'm no longer bumping against the dipstick. There's another part in there that this would have originally bumped into. And it's got a lot of adjustability. I can go up, down, sideways, not diagonally, which I don't need to do, but it'll work for routing the PVC lines out of the catch can and into the valve cover and intake track. So let's see, the other random part, we have a old Viper bolt in there as well, which comes in handy, perfect size for what we need.
All the hodgepodging together, we've made it work, and we'll show you exactly how it fits, how they wanted it to fit in the engine bay, and how we've actually made it fit in the engine bay. So it's a driver's side mounted kit, and this is essentially the hose that it's gonna be replacing. And you got all this nice space to work with, but it just doesn't, with the original little bracket, there's just no way it's gonna work.
So originally, this nub coming off the strut tower was a much larger piece in the picture they sent in probably a prior model year. So this came out here, and then I'm not exactly sure which part this is, but this was also mounted differently, and now it's got its own bracket down further. So there is a hole, I don't know if you're able to see, but it's down here off of that bracket. And originally, this was just going to simply mount out here off of what bracket existed, but we're having to extend out and go down so we can utilize the bracket down in here and still get us the location we want. And like I said, some adjustability there so we can kind of tweak it how we need, but it doesn't get in the way of anything, and it should work for what we're trying to accomplish.
Step one of this job, we're going to get the old PCV, I always mess that word up, PCV valve, like that tubing off, so that way we're gonna put be able to put the new stuff on, but we gotta get the old stuff out of there. So Paul's gonna get in there and demonstrate how easy the PCV is to actually pull off, because there ain't much to it.
All right,
just use a little bit of muscle.
Clip there, and just lift off. And this actually spins, so you can get to the other clip. and it just slides right off.
Easy as that.
All right, so from what I can tell in the instructions, they just have this slip onto the existing PCV fittings on the valve cover and intake track. No clamps or anything like that, and it slides on and off way too easily for my comfort. So what I'm going to do is I've already clipped the ends off the existing line, and I want to reuse these factory fittings that they're barbed on the end, and they secure the PCV line to everything. I'd rather have that. So I've already clipped the majority of the lines off, and I've already done one here, so you can see it's nice barbed in on it. It'll secure everything. And all I'm going to do is just take a box cutter and carefully, try and do this away from my fingers, just take out the existing hose. And the line's a little old, so it's a little bit stiff, not as pliable, but should come out. Just kind of peel it away. I have to cut a little bit more. All right, and then we have another fitting we can use.
Because that will slide into the end of the new hose?
Yeah, so that'll slide into the end of the new hose, keep everything locked down, and then this will attach to the valve cover side and the intake side, and won't be able to remove it without releasing the clip. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start mocking things up here. That way I know what length of hose to cut, because they basically just give you one long length and you have to cut it to fit. So first I'm gonna go ahead and mount my fittings here to the catch can, and then we're gonna go ahead and mount this in the engine bay so that way we know about what kind of distance we have.
So here's our mock-up. That bracket actually kind of worked perfect. It's going to put this kind of, like Paul was saying earlier, like there's adjustability for this, so that way you can kind of swing it around and hopefully not create such a crazy angle with these fittings, because they got 90-degree elbows on both sides. But Paul's got the hose now, so we're just trying to figure out how much hose is actually needed.
So at minimum for this lower hose, it's going to be a bit of a bend doing it this way, but looks like get away with like right about here. Or if we move the fittings that way and route the front way, which probably look a little bit cleaner.
I was about to say that definitely.
It should be about the same length of hose, so
yeah, I think that looks better.
yeah, it won't kink. It'll be just kind of a
Rainbow.
yeah. So I can kind of swing this a little bit up and over, so that way the other one runs underneath that way and
Perfectly
over this way, so it'll still work.
Ain't much to it once we figured out the bracketing that we had to kind of piece together, but aside from that, mounts up and it actually looks pretty factory. Like the blue matches, it's got the blue calipers and stuff like that, so incorporating the blue theme into the car looks pretty sweet. Paul's gonna give it a start just to make sure things check out, but don't imagine any issues. Does it seem to be idling fine?
Yeah.
Don't notice anything?
No.
Sounds, I mean, I don't hear the car as much as you do, but it sounds the same to me.
You know, everything's nice and tight, no vibrations. None of the hoses are going to be touching any heated areas or hot areas, so everything's in place. Should do its job. The purpose of the install today is to basically eliminate something that is common with newer model motors. So kind of the easiest way to explain it is that there's pressure built up in your engine from operating, and modern vehicles have kind of like a pressure release built in, where normally they just route tubing from like the crankcase cover or the valve cover and then directly back into the intake track. Problem with that is you get oil contamination and possibly other gunk that may be in the motor. So that basically gets routed from your engine right back into your intake track, which can clog up your intake manifold. It can affect detonation, and I guess common things that happen are bluish white smoke on startup or operating, and especially on an older motor with wear and tear, it can kind of increase the amount of issues you may have from that. So this catch can, it's basically plumbed in line to catch those contaminants, and you empty it out either every oil change or even quicker intervals if you need to. Ideally, you get these kind of things when your car is newer and fewer miles. However, on this particular car, it was a complete afterthought, so I'm way into it. But at some point, the engine's going to get a tear down and rebuild anyways. I figure in the meantime, since now I'm starting to race it, you know, little measure of protection going forward should help out.
We do appreciate everybody watching. If you will, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you in the next one.